Hi, my name is Laura Lowe, and this is my capstone. Going into senior year, I knew I wanted to do something along the lines of being a mentor of some sort, and the things that made me make this decision was horseback riding and my Guatemalan exchange student, Isabella Mendez. I rode horses for about 10 years, and with the dedication and experience that I had, I became a working student. I was one of the oldest girls out there, and I was kind of a mentor to the little girls because I was riding the bigger horses. I got to train horses. I was always doing the shows and always helping Casey Ballack out with the barn. I got to help them build confidence, and by me helping them build confidence, that made me build confidence as well. And my second impact was Isabella. I had Isabella as an exchange student last year for about 3 months. She was practically my sister. We were together every single day. Going into having her come here, I was extremely nervous. I was nervous that she wasn't going to like me, that I wasn't going to like her, that we weren't going to be anything alike. But it turns out that we were perfect for each other. We liked the same things, we did the same things, we had the same personality, and that made the experience so much more fun with her. When she left, I was super upset because the person I was with every single day wasn't with me anymore, and she was like my sister. And so that was the biggest impact on me because I wanted to be a sister for someone and impact their lives the way Isabella impacted me. So that made me search for some places, some organizations where I could be a big, and I found Big Brothers Big Sisters. Big Brothers Big Sisters is a nonprofit organization where volunteered mentors can meet with little children to help them succeed and find their full potential. So I emailed Big Brothers Big Sisters, and they reached back at me, and I went through a few training sessions, and then I met with a match support specialist. Her name's Beth Hill, and she interviewed me for a few hours and then matched me after a few weeks with a little girl named Kendall Myers. Well, it's not going. Okay. Kendall Myers. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Kendall is very funny. She's sweet. She's adorable. She's everything you would want in a little sister. She goes to Pond Gap Elementary, and I was really nervous going into it. I was afraid that she wasn't going to like me. I was afraid that she was going to be anything like me, kind of like Isabella. But once again, a perfect match. Beth knew what she was doing. When we first met each other, it was like we'd known each other for years. It was amazing. And I love her so much. It makes me so happy talking about her. What was the best and hardest thing about being a big? The best thing was being able to meet new people, being able to get to know Kendall, and let her talk to me about anything. That's what was the biggest impact on me, is getting to know her and about her family and her struggles, and it was a really cool thing. But the hardest thing for me was knowing what to say all the time and knowing how to react to some situations. Like the first situation that we had together, she was using bad language, and I wasn't expecting that from a 4th grader. So I was shocked at first, but I knew what to do. I knew to tell her that, Kendall, that's not the right thing to say. Try to think about what you're going to say before you say it. And she was super understanding, and she hasn't said a bad word with me since. But then the other hard, really difficult thing that we experienced together was her talking about her family and her family struggles, which was super upsetting for me. But we moved past it. We talk about it all the time together because she's really comfortable with me, and it just shows that even the bad, she can make it good. And we talked about her faith together, which I was kind of skeptical about talking to her about that because she goes to a public school. I don't know how she is with God, But turns out she does believe in him, she loves him, and she's super open to talking to him about it. And she knows that, like, trusting in God, the bad things will be good again. And she was really strong when she was able to understand that. My impact in Kendall's life has just been able to let her know that there's going to be somebody to come back to. There's going to be somebody to come and see her once or twice a week, and that she doesn't have to worry about not having that security of someone who just loves her and is going to be there for her. But what Kendall doesn't know is that she's impacted my life more than I could ever impact her life, because she's just such an amazing little girl that's brought such joy and light to my life, and she's just an amazing person. What I have learned from Kendall, I've learned not to take things for granted, especially with her family issues. I've learned that I can't take my family for granted, because I do have a good family, and that's just so difficult for me to understand that she has so much struggles within her family, but that she has so many struggles in her family, but to know that she's like strong with it. And I've also learned patience from her, and just with her struggles, that I can be patient, because she's grown up in a household where there's not many rules and there's not many guidelines or boundaries, and that sometimes she does things where I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, Kendall, it's not good. But I've learned to accept it and know that she's not used to the same kind of things that we are. What's next for Kendall and I? I do plan to see her this summer, and with the after-school program through Pond Gap. But my mentor Beth and I talked last week, and we agreed that it's going to be a good idea if I do a few more training sessions and interviews, so I could take her outside of the after-school program to be able to take her to Dollywood or the ice skating rink or the movies, to do something fun like that. And I'm also, when I go to college, I plan to continue Big Brothers Big Sisters, but in Mississippi. I looked on Big Brothers Big Sisters to see if there's an organization in Mississippi, and there is. So I'm planning to do that when I go to college, so that's super exciting for me. But yeah, me and Kendall are trying to spend as much time together right now as we can, since I'm going far away for college. And that's my capstone.